welcome to another SorareStrats video. I am GW. Today we're going to be looking at the weekend that's just gone, doing a little review of who were the best defensive stacks to have, who were the best midfielders, the best forwards, and then what we will then finally do, as usual, look at what was the best team that you could have picked, and we'll compare that with what the team was that actually won Division 1. And just a spoiler, currently I'm second, so I'm kind of salty about who's first, but he is someone I know, so it's all good. But anyway, let's get into it. The third best team for a defensive stack you could have had this weekend was none other than Newcastle United. They were at home to Arsenal, so many would have fancied them to actually not get a clean sheet, and they actually did, so well done to them. Lewis Hall, playing fullback, got a clearance off the line. You can't really legislate for that those happen. Some players are more inclined to be in those areas, but yeah, he got that as well as the clean sheet. So Lewis Hall came in at a whopping 99 of the defensive stack score. So all in all, very good, but only got them third. Coming up second, personal favourites of mine, because I had these, was a Nottingham Forest stack. They were at home to West Ham, who have been misfiring for a while. It wasn't really that surprising to see Forest turn over West Ham, and it was another good display from a fullback with Ola Aina.
Spit it out!
I think that's how you could say it. Actually popping up with a goal. I saw the interview of him actually, where he said that basically he was knackered. So
I'm tired, boss.
They just smashed it and it went in. All in all, a massive score from him. Came in at 100. So the total defensive stack, if you'd have picked Forest, 160, which most weeks that would have been the top score of the weekend, but not this weekend. So coming in at number one, it's our old friends Southampton. So this is the second week where they have actually came in as one of the top three defensive stacks, and again I bet not many people would have gone for them. It stands to the facts of what we're seeing here is that if you pick a goalie and a defender from a team that isn't a top team, if they do well, they pick up the AA around it. So Ramsdale coming in at 81 and Walker Peters coming in at 90. So it was again another weekend where it was the mid-range teams to smaller teams that were the best defensive stacks you could have had. So let's move on to the midfielders. When it comes to midfielders, obviously we want players that are going to be scoring, that are going to be on set pieces, getting a lot of AA. And in third place of the top midfielders for the weekend was Elliot Anderson. So I hold Elliot Anderson, and I was devastated to see he was on the bench. I know he had a bit of a knock, but I fully expected him to be starting this game. I thought it was going to be a minor thing that he could shrug off, but no, he wasn't fit enough for the full 90. Luckily for me and others, he did come on and he had a very, very good influence on the game. Came in, he got an assist and 79 overall score. Very, very good. Continues to exceed expectations this season, Elliot Anderson. He's still very young as well, so he's got a lot of room to grow. Still play him in under 23s. Forest are absolutely firing at the moment. Very much to my surprise, I didn't think they'd be this good. I thought they'd do well, but they really are pushing up the table. A word of warning, if you are thinking of bringing in Forest assets, they have got a bit of a turn in fixtures coming up where they're going to have some tough games. So you may want to look ahead before you pounce on buying, for example, Elliot Anderson. Although he may seem like a cheap option, they have got some tough fixtures. Second up, Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno, I was watching the game from behind my sofa really, because I needed him not to score.
I'm so scared right now.
And I would have won Division 1, but alas, he got a penalty. Bruno Fernandes, as he used to be called. Remember that first season where he was just getting so many penalties? He didn't have a great game really, but he is one of those kind of players. He does get a lot of attempted assists, and he could have come away with more if we're being honest. He actually got downgraded by Opta this morning, so he has actually come down from a 90. But overall, for all those Fernandes owners, they'll be very, very happy. And maybe with a change of manager, we may see his influence continue to grow. They may actually have more attacking returns. So we'll keep an eye on how that develops. But the number one midfield option this weekend was Gomez from Wolves. So Gomez is one of those kind of players. He tends to sit quite deep at times and tries to control the play, but he has got the ability to get up further, break through the lines, and actually get goals as well as assists, creates chances. He's a tidy little player. I don't think he's someone that I would be reliant on or thinking he's gonna be smashing it every week. We look at his record, you see that it's his first real big score in 5 weeks. He's actually been pretty poor. One thing I would say, it's kind of reverse of what I said about Forest. Wolves' fixtures really turn around now. They're going to have a really good run of games where they're up against teams that they should do well against. So I would be, if I was you, eyeballing those assets of Wolves, thinking of Gomez, Strand Larsen up top. I think he's going to do well. Cunha, of course, as well. So that is your midfield options. Let's go look at the forwards. Okay, so with the forwards, third on the list is Dominic Solanke, a player who pre-season a lot fancied to get a lot of goals this season with the attacking threat that Spurs do possess. It hasn't really come to fruition, and his actual XG has been really, really low. I'm really surprised. He hasn't actually even been getting chances. I would put that down to a combination of things, obviously adapting to a new team. He also missed the start of the season. He picked up an injury, and then since he's come back, Son has been out. So there hasn't been a real run of games where Son and Solanke have been in the same team. I would be thinking that he's going to start picking up more attacking returns as the weeks go on, now that Son's pretty much getting up to fitness. He got 2 goals at the weekend. Did very well with his finishing. He wasn't really that effective outside of his goals, but you don't need that for your number 9. Again, as we look at his previous scores, he hasn't been doing too well. He's had a few BCMs in there as well across the last few weeks, but I think he's a confidence player, and I think this game will do him the world of good. Coming in second place, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Another part of that that Nottingham Forest brilliant display against West Ham. Bagged himself a goal. Again, he's one of those kind of patchy, streaky players. He's got it in his locker, but I sometimes question his his mentality to actually go out and really put teams to the sword, because he seems like he has all the ability, but he doesn't always do it on a weekly basis. So I wonder if we're going to see a bit more from him going forward. But an 85, a very good display from Hudson-Odoi. Not enough to get first place though. The number 1 pick of the weekend in your forward positions was Semenyo. Semenyo was up against Man City, so I definitely didn't expect this from him. He is a very good player. From a forward, he gets a lot of AA. He creates chances. He created a couple of chances on Saturday. He could have had more attacking returns, actually. He had a couple of shots on goal. He scored his goal, obviously, but he was just a pure nuisance for City. And that's now City and Arsenal that Bournemouth have beat in recent weeks. And you would imagine, as they face easier opposition, he can continue to grow into these scores. So do keep an eye out on Bournemouth, and particularly Semenyo, I would say. So yeah, he was your number 1 forward of the weekend. Now let's have a look at the number 1 team that we could have put together. Right guys, so this was what would be deemed the perfect team you could have put together this weekend. And looking at it, we've done this for a few weeks now. This is the cheapest team that we've seen so far. Mainly because all the big hitting teams, they didn't really hit big. We had obviously Nottingham Forest were probably the pick of the teams this weekend, and we've got Ola Aina in there from them, but it's a real mixed bag of players. There's no like not even a 2-man stack amongst them. So we've got Southampton, we've got Forest, got Wolves, Bournemouth, and Newcastle. I don't think anyone would have put those 5 teams together, let alone the individual players from those teams. Very, very interesting. So this team in Classic would have cost you £27, and even in season, this whole team would have cost £44. Considering this team would have won Division 1, would have won $1,500. That's crazy. That's real crazy. Now, when we look at the team that actually won, No, not this team. This was my team, and it came in second. So very close. We'll do check out my video that's coming up at the end of this, where I'll break down how I came second and what I was looking at in my basis of putting out this team. But the team that came top was this team. As you can see, very much a lot of star power in there, but as we've already highlighted, it wasn't necessary this weekend. You could have put a team together for under £50 and won the whole thing. So will that be the same every week? Probably not, no. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, having a quick look back. If you can, hit the
If there are any interested subscribers.
subscribe button, hit the like button. I want you to hit the back of the net like Solanke did this weekend. He'd be hitting the subscribe button, so don't be a Darwin Núñez, be a Solanke. Hit that subscribe button, and as I said, yeah, do check out the video that's going to be coming up here, where I'm going to talk through exactly how I came second, and I'm on course to win $1,000. But other than that, thanks a lot, guys. Catch you next time. Subscribe button.